Welcome back to the No Judge Necessary podcast, where we got the opinions like DC, we're crazy like Gaethje, and we're as high as O'Malley. We're the podcast for fight fans that want to see fists fly and don't want to wait on the judges. I'm your host, Brick, and as always, my cornerman, Nil, and Matty P. How we doing, boys?
Yo.
What's going on, y'all?
We fucking out here.
Coming off kind of week of fights, but,
We had to get our mentals and our chickens right, So we took a week off. It was probably a great week to take off. Nine fights on the card. It wasn't the craziest card in the world. Ended up going to a soccer game that was pretty lit. So
shout out Phoenix Rising, big lit, and the Banditos.
Yep.
I was in Vegas and I put 200 on Uriah Hall. Lost it all.
God.
Lost it all on Uriah Hall, man.
I wish we did a pod because I would have told you to bet Sean Strickland. I just had a feeling.
Yeah, but that's
the thing is, the odds were so jacked up for a reason, like obviously, but I thought it was gonna be closer than that.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, it was washing. So now I'm hearing rumblings of Sean Strickland getting Luke Rockhold as a comeback November 6th.
I think it's final now.
Is it signed?
I've heard that's signed, sealed, and delivered. Okay. But I also heard a quote from Michael Chandler that was super interesting. He was like, "Look, I'm not going to sit here and get all into whether I'm for the vax or not." But he's like, "I haven't gotten it yet, and New York's telling me that I need it to be a part of indoor events. So if I'm unvaxxed, how the hell am I going to be the co-main event of this fight?" And I just thought that was just interesting. And
Dana's not going to have it there.
I think it's going to get moved.
You think MSG might get pulled?
Yes, I think they're going to switch and pivot locations. 100%. Correct.
It's getting pulled.
Correct. Because if they can't sell that place out, they're not going.
Yeah, and especially if you have a limited capacity and you're going to end up having everyone needs to be vaccinated and it's going to be an absolute dogfest to get in there. We went to the first one back with fans in Jacksonville.
And it was packed.
It was full capacity. All you had to do was fill out this stupid clear thing on an app, which it literally just said do you have COVID? Click no. All right, you're good. Go in.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I want to either go to a Houston or Jacksonville or even Arizona or Vegas where they're not going to give a shit. I'm not trying to go. Exactly. I couldn't go technically, so to Madison Square Garden then.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And you're probably the larger percentage of the fan base. And most people who watch UFC are probably unvaxxed. So they're fucking stupid if they think that they're going to sell a card of only vaxxed dudes.
And not only
and fighters and personnel, Dana, all these dudes.
And just first off,
Dana's not with
just a step. And just the logistics of trying to figure out who's vaxxed, who's not vaxxed.
And someone will forge it.
Yeah, everyone's
Fight Island shit. With Fight Island, they don't need that shit.
Yeah, because you stay in. There's no in or out kind of thing. But you can't just have.
They have a bubble.
Right.
I just think it's going to get pulled. That's my hot take.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Because honestly, I was thinking about it because we went to Colby versus Usman 1 in Vegas 2 Decembers ago. And I was like, I need to go to the second one. But the second I heard it was at MSG, I'm like, I am not traveling or dealing with New York right now. No chance.
But crazy, though, that on some other shit that this Sean Strickland card had, was it 955 or 955 was the peak of it, 955,000 viewers, and it averaged at 797.
Yep.
And we had Bellator on the same night, probably one of the biggest fights of their promotional history. They had AJ McKee against Patricio Pitbull. That averaged at about 85,000 fights and peaked at 177 during the main event. How insane. Ridiculous are those odds? Now, I get it. It's ESPN Plus as opposed to Showtime and all this, but their prelims are on YouTube.
Half the time, I don't even know how to watch Bellator. I got to figure it out every single time.
It's so inaccessible, tough to watch. And it really shows because I thought with, as we were saying it, call a spade, one of the worst UFC cards they've put out in a while. And that's honestly not even a massive knock on the UFC card. It was just
there was 9 fights. People got COVID. Some dudes were hurt.
Shit happens. You're not going to have a banger every single night. But just to see that, the UFC on a quote unquote off night,
it's still the cash cow.
Dwarfing. It wasn't even fucking close.
Nah.
And Pitbull McKee was their biggest event they've had.
Bro, the winner, AJ McKee, won that fight a minute and 37 seconds in and walked away with $1 million for winning that fight. It was the end of a Grand Prix at featherweight, and this dude won $1 million.
I went back and rewatched that. I didn't go back and rewatch any of the UFC yet.
You went back and watched McKee Pitbull the whole fight?
Yeah, well, I mean it was what minute. 30?
I mean, yeah, it was But still, though, I mean that stole the show. That event just right there, but.
Right.
It's crazy how like Sean Strickland, Uriah Hall absolutely dwarfed it. And them shits are on YouTube now. The fucking prelims are on YouTube and they can't even build it.
Yeah, I thought that would get a bunch of streams. I also still always wonder when they actually talk those like streaming and ratings numbers. Like, is it counting every Buffalo Wild Wings in America that has the fights and like none of the bars are going to be showing Showtime? And
I've always said Bellator shot themselves in the foot for a long time by just constantly trying to stay relevant and get hip, that they're always switching platforms and they're always switching the way that they stream their fights. It used to be fucking Spike TV, then it was Paramount, then it was CBS Sports, then it was fucking Showtime, then it was YouTube. Now it's Showtime Plus for the pay-per-view, but prelims on YouTube. There's too much movement. And that's all within about a 2-year span. There's no way I can ever keep up.
And I feel like they don't have enough fans, like diehard fans, who are going to keep chasing it.
Correct.
Like, I used to watch a lot of Bellator when they were on Spike TV because it was just on cable. You happen to see it. I'd watch something else on Spike. I'd be watching Bar Rescue or some shit, and they got a promo for it. Like the same way they're doing it with ESPN. You know, like you get some promo. I notice it's on. Okay, cool. I know I can just go to channel 26 and fucking watch it. Cool. Now I gotta like switch to YouTube, then go to some Showtime Plus that I gotta have a subscription to and shit. Like I'm out. I don't care enough to like go through all of it.
I'm big out, but I think AJ McKee. I think AJ McKee would do well if they cross paths or cross promotions.
Yeah, I think so.
That cat's a problem.
Yeah, I think after giving him,
he's not smoking Max Holloway yet, though. He's not on. I don't think he's there.
No, but can he smoke the guys ranked 10 through 7? Probably.
I was just gonna say back end of the top 10 fight.
I think he gets into the top 5. No, 45.
45. Okay.
I think he would get into the top 5 at 45, and it would just be electricity. Whether or not he wins those fights, different argument, I guess. But if he was in that mix, I would watch all of them.
For sure.
But are we just hopping into it?
Who do you give as a first fight?
Who would I give as a first fight? Let me hear the rankings.
Let me pull up some
rankings. Didn't Calvin Kattar just lose?
That would be interesting.
I mean, that's like hey, this cat's kind of proven.
Right. It's like, a bit of a name. It would definitely sell.
Or maybe like a Josh Emmett. Let's really see what can happen.
Oh, my Lord. You're trying to send him to the hospital for his fight, fam.
No, you know what? He just came off his $1 million check. He wants to get that money. $50K, Dan Ige. First fight. Let's go. Ooh. Number 8. That's perfect. If you belong here, you can scrap with Dan Ige. And if you don't belong, Dan Ige will let you know real fucking quick.
That's actually a great one. Cal Cater's sort of in that mix.
Yeah. Pretty much anyone from like 5 to 10 would be good. Arnold Allen, Edson Barbosa, Giga Chikadze, like any of those fights. That's a deep fucking division.
Yeah, it is.
Because that's the tough thing is when you do put in a guy like AJ McKee, who obviously has proven himself in Bellator. It's like, does he immediately jump like Evil Shane Burgos, Mitchell?
No, he's getting a ranked dude, bro.
Those guys are ranked.
Yeah, but higher ranked than that. You're not getting a bottom ranked guy. You're getting someone minimum top 7.
I mean, look what Michael Chandler got.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I mean, the guy just won $1 million tournament. People know who he is. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Well, let's hop into some pre-fight diaries, yeah?
Yeah.
I got a newcomer real quick.
Nilly newcomer of the week?
Yeah, Cordero Baku George.
Baku, okay.
Yeah, he is 4-1. Hold up. Let me see what he is a champion in.
So he is a champion, but we don't know the promotion. Working on it. Well, just looking at his picture, this dude's an absolute unit, so I like where you're starting at.
The GFC light heavyweight champion.
GFC. All right.
And his In his bio, it says 4-1 in MMA, # respect the grind.
I like it.
Who's the KFC heavyweight champion?
I think Colonel lost his belt.
It's the GFC, not K. But I see where you're going. This cat has all finishes. So
I like that.
Couple rear naked, 3 submissions in the TKO, and he's gotten TKO'd. I'm not quite sure who he's fought. He stayed active in the pandemic and fought. And so I want to see him.
That's always impressive, especially like now that we're kind of allegedly coming out on the back end and stuff. Like, I like what these newcomers and kind of guys we're looking up, like the guys who just found a way, you know, and especially the guys who are on like a 3-fight winning streak in 2020.
Grasp the Future Cage.
Huh?
Grasp the Future Cage Championship, GFC.
Okay. It's the future.
I'd be more impressed with KFC still.
This cat is big. This cat's been in like Japan, doing like US versus Japan stuff with this guy named Sean Jones, who's like a popular like amateur or like on that side of the world. So this cat's like kind of interesting in like multiple ways.
So even though he's only 4-1, he's kind of been more active in the overall fight game.
Yeah, collegiate wrestler, amateur, just sort of like in that like weird he just moved to Asia and just started getting in combat and just like whatever way he could. And now he's here 4-1 in MMA. I'm not entirely sure what the style is. It says kickboxing foundation style, but I've seen him wrestle, so I don't really know what that's about, but we'll see.
I feel like that's how a lot of these MMA guys get, like, they come out as a collegiate wrestler, so that's their like initial discipline, and then they're immediately like, I need to learn some sort of striking, whether it's, you know, Muay Thai or kickboxing or straight boxing, you know, and then that always gets put as their style, and it's like, aren't you a wrestler? You know?
But yeah, let's see this kid get a shot in a half big promotion and see what he's about.
This kid's a unit, and I like his hair, so I'm in.
All right, let's hop into some pre-fight diaries.
We got a big card. We gotta go.
It's been like 13 days. Let's get it.
First fight, who we got?
We got Johnny Munoz Jr., 10-1 out of the USA, taking on Jamie Simons, 7-3, also out of the USA in the men's 135 division. What are we thinking?
I mean, first off, and it could entirely be hype, and I could entirely be buying it, but I like the Afro Samurai and Simons. I don't know what it is about him. He got a cool swag to him. He got head kicked into oblivion by Giga Chikadze, but as we're starting to see with Giga, that might not hold as bad as it, you know, looked in the moment. So, and I believe that was either his second fight or was that his debut?
That was his debut.
That was his debut. So
both
a debut out of
a
now current, you know, top 10 guy. I want to give the cat another chance. Fire nickname, swaggy kind of fighter. I'm hoping he learned something from that first fight.
Kid Kavenbo, Johnny Munoz. That's his nickname. No idea what that means, but it's kind of fire.
I think Munoz got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of finishes on his resume, and to be 10-1. I think he's going to have a little bit of wealth of experience and better knowledge on how to win fights. And I think he's going to be able to dust. It all comes down to, can he dust off this first loss in the UFC? Is this going to make his career or break it? You know, we've seen a lot of times guys undefeated comes in the league and has a rough go of it, and that's it for his career, a la Will Brooks.
That's sort of what
can you bounce back and become something here, kind of like Leon Edwards, who lost his first fight.
Right. But that's what I'm kind of leaning on Simons a little bit, because they kind of have a similar amount of experience amateur or before the UFC. But Munoz came in 10-0, lost to a worse opponent. And I'm like, how are you going to bounce back from that? Simons, he came in with 2 losses before he came to the UFC, was on a like 3 or 4 fight losing streak, and then lost to a guy who's now in the top 10. I hope to see more out of him. That's kind of where I'm looking at.
What's the money?
Wow, Munoz coming in at minus 250 favorite.
I don't like
195 on Simons.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not touching this fight now, fam.
I'm not.
You know the way of not touching fights? That's the way I'm going on this one.
Give me the juicy. Give me that juicy.
You're going to take Jamie Simons, bro.
Yep.
He spells Jamie Jamey, and you're gonna pick this cat.
And he spells Simons with 2 M's. I don't give a damn. He's the Afro Samurai, and he's about to raise hell.
It's Simmons.
It's Simmons? Nah.
Yeah. I feel like we heard it Simons.
Nah, it's definitely Simons, bro.
You're lying.
It's not Simmons.
You're
it's not Simmons, fam. All right, maybe it is Simmons, and I'm tripping. I'm the worst announcer of all time, but whatever.
We'll hit up Anik.
Jamie Simmons. All right, whatever, dude. It's Jamie Simons. Next fight. We got Victoria Leonardo. I hope I said that one right for you. 8-3 out of the USA. She is taking on Melissa Gatto, 6-0-2 out of Brazil. What a record. In the females 125 division. Wow, I'm tripping on my words.
The first question I wanted to ask y'all on this fight. Is Gatto undefeated?
What does that mean?
2 draws.
You got 2 draws coming in. Is she undefeated?
Those are half a defeat each. So that's 1 defeat.
She got 1 loss?
Nah, she undefeated, bro.
Those are 0.5.
Are they gonna announce her as undefeated fighter? Like, and still undefeated?
I don't know. I've never seen someone come into the UFC at 6-0-2.
What does that even mean? These sounds like lottery numbers or fucking area code.
We should almost bet the draw.
No. This is no.
If
I like where you're thinking.
A fourth of her fights go to draws already.
25% have gone to draw. And I don't know if this helps out at all. The odds are -112 and -112.
Yo, this chick, Victoria Leonardo's lost to Miranda Maverick twice. She must love losing to her.
Aaron Blachowicz. Or Blanchfield.
Blachowicz, he said. Aaron Blachowicz. Aaron Blanchfield.
Yeah, I don't know. Do they have a draw
This is bad.
on?
Ooh, Melissa Gatto, kind of bad, though.
I didn't say it, but you're not wrong.
She's had a lot of canceled bouts. She hasn't won a fight since 2018 against Carol Rosa.
I'm out.
Yeah, I ain't touching this fight with the fucking stick, bro.
I'm
good on this fight. We're good.
I'm taking the draw.
I don't hate fuck for taking the draw, dude. But I guess, I mean, shit, you are right. Like, a fourth of her fights have gone the draw. Like, you've called Wilder shit. What are the odds on a draw?
If this is correct, it says +6,000.
I mean, that seems
that
about
says for a
accurate,
tie on the round, so that would be a draw, right?
A tie on the rounds? You can't. There's 3 rounds.
It says winning groups.
$50.
What? Dude, my brain is broken. You just said a tie on the rounds. There's 3. Like, I know you're just reading what you see, but
A 9-9 round with the taken point.
What if you put $50 on that?
what? Bro, that still doesn't comprehend in my brain, dude.
$3,000. Oh, but I don't know how much, depending on the sports book you have, they might have a limit on it. I don't think you can put 50. Or maybe you can. Yeah, 3 G's on a draw.
50 to win 3 G's on a draw? We should all put fucking 15 bills on that. What are we doing?
Jeez.
Dude, what? I mean, bro.
They take a point in the first round and we're like, we're in here. Let's go.
Is that why? Does it explain why she has draws? Or does it just say draw?
Yeah,
like, is she a legal strike?
Don't ask questions. Just don't ask questions.
Don't ask
No,
questions.
that's so
Just
relevant
draw.
to the matter, dude. What?
I know.
No,
This is going to be some
Does she stomp people on the ground, or are these just unfortunate draws?
Or it's going to be some stupid, like, amateur Brazilian league she was in that only has, like, 2 rounds. So it's if you go 1-1, it's a draw, and that's why she has.
I don't need this negative energy.
All right, next fight. We got Miles Johns, 11-1 out of the USA in the men's 135 division, taking on Anderson Dos Santos, 21-8. I gotta say, off the jump, Anderson Dos Santos doesn't really ring a bell. Like, ADS, Anderson Dos Santos, like, I'm having a very hard time placing this cat.
He fought Andre Ewell. He just beat Martin Day. He's been around forever, but never really fought like that many. He fought guys like real guys back in like 2016. He fought Ricky
Was he
Simone.
in the UFC and
He
got
fought
cut?
Thiago Santos. Oh wow, no, these were wow. He actually fought all
So he
those
fought
guys.
the up and comers on the
How do you
regional
play
side.
Ricky Simone and Thiago what?
That was in Gold Fight 8 and Titan FC 37.
Thiago dos Santos. That's not the same guy, dude. It can't be, right?
No.
Yeah, good call. Good call on that one, Matty P.
Good call. Good call. And that was on the regional circuit. So I guess he's actually only had 3 fights in the UFC. So yeah, no, I think you were right.
Yo, I'm out. I'm smelling cap on this clown.
Yeah,
this is big cap territory, bro.
Yeah, give me Miles Jones all day.
Yeah, but let me get a refresher on Chapo and Miles Jones here.
I like Chapo. Miles Jones coming in at minus 200 favorite. So he's going to probably be the in a lot of parlays bet.
I don't like that.
Which I don't like. I'm going to probably lose on it. But give me Chapo. That's my guy. He got caught with a flying knee randomly in in his UFC.
What's this fight not to go the distance?
This fight not to go the distance. Let me give you some odds here.
And let me get the reverse odds.
Wow. Not going the distance. Plus 130. To go the distance minus 177.
That might be the line to teeter in this fight. Right there.
Plus 130?
Well, throwing that in a parlay either way, it's kind of good odds.
I like it not going the distance. I like that.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was going to be leaning to not going the distance. I mean, the only thing I can see is if both of them, it's kind of those, neither one of them they're both too tough to get finished kind of thing, but.
Not with 8 losses, though.
No. And Miles John got caught with that fucking flying knee, so
facts.
His game isn't he can get caught. That's his problem. You know what I mean? His game's pretty clean, but he does leave those little opportunities, which definitely leads to not going the distance. So I'm in. No judgment necessary on this one.
Yeah, we don't like decisions. That one's not going the distance.
Next fight.
We got Manel Kape, 15-6 out of Portugal, right? Taking on Odie Osborne, 9-3 out of the USA. Odie Osborne, this man gotta come out to Crazy Train, or I am not about it. If he doesn't walk out to Crazy Train, I'm not watching this fight.
Yeah.
With a name like Odie Osborne, you have to. It's that.
And that's a fire walkout.
What are you doing, bro? I don't know. That just smells like you have to.
Manel's about to get robbed again.
You think?
Nah, I think he actually gets this one, but he hasn't gotten robbed two in a row.
He lost a unanimous to Alexander Pantoja, but people thought it was close. And then he lost a split to Mateus Nikolai.
That Nikolai was...
That was bad. That was bad.
That was bullshit. That was a Sal D'Amato job.
But crazy that this cat had all sorts of finishes left and right in Ryzen, and then comes here and has been going the distance.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's about. I'm not...
I think he's about to finally get something here. I think he's about to get his win.
Yeah, I almost want
to... Odie Osborne may be the guy to do for him to do that.
Yeah, and I almost want to see where it zags and maybe take under 2 rounds or something. I think he might be pissed off after getting 2, leaving it in the hands of the judges twice after coming off amateur, or I always say amateur, but I just mean before UFC career, where he was just starching people. So I think
he's been a little timid on each one.
Mm-hmm.
This is another fight I like not going the distance. Odie Osborne's gone the distance once. Manel Kape was a finisher.
Not going the distance, minus 106. Going the distance, minus 125. So
could that be a little not go the distance early parlay? Miles Jones, Dos Santos, and Kape Osborne or Osborne.
I could get you some odds on that.
Little no judges, little early parlay.
Bro, I'm starting to set one up too over here.
Okay, got something cooking.
I've been hot on my 2-fight parlays.
Yeah.
Those have been hitting. But if I'm going 3, 4, 5, I start fucking it up.
So if we put those two just to not go the distance in both Miles Johns and the Odie Osborne fight, it would be plus 384. That's pretty juicy.
That's not that
On a
bad.
little two-teamer early in the night, you throw a little, 10, 20 bills. That gets the ball rolling.
I don't know if back-to-back fights scares me or that makes me more like happier about this fight. You know what I'm trying to say?
Pay-per-view factor. It's a pay-per-view. I feel like,
but these are the prelims.
I know, but I feel like there's been, since we've had fans back, I feel like the prelims have brought a lot of finishes.
You reminded me. The fans have also brought injuries. McGregor, Chris Weidman, Jimmy Crute, Anthony Smith. Like, there's just been bad ones since fans have come back. Are they bad karma? Are we bad karma? Are we bad luck?
I don't know. I mean, each situation's obviously different, but
that shit wasn't happening at the Apex in front of no fans.
Yeah,
I know, it's just tripping me out, dog.
There's just that little bit of different energy. I mean, as we're seeing it with, preseason football coming up, like, we've all...
The fans have brought back injuries.
That first game back, that first fight back, because especially most of these guys, their first fight, it's one of their first fights back with fans. Not many people have fought twice in front of fans yet. Right. So it's still that first time for, like, everyone, and you don't know how that juice, maybe it hypes you up. Maybe it,
Well, hopefully the fans can bring juice to the next fight because we're going to need it. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, 12-6 out of Poland, taking on Jessica Penne, 13-5 out of USA in the female 115 division. This fight's intriguing because they're names, but if you look at recent run of form, this fight, not that great.
I know. I was honestly going to say
shit.
I really hate the fact that I did research for this fight because going into the week, I saw this on the poster and I was like, ooh, I know these chicks. They were some like pioneers of the division. These cats can scrap. And then I looked at
But that's why this is a great fight. That's why this fight's good.
1-3. I don't know.
Hey, this fight is like
Jessica Andrade, Michelle Watterson, Alexa Grasso, Yan Jianan. Like, these are the top.
This fight's going to tell you who's going to bare knuckle fight.
Yo,
damn,
that's the realest shit you ever said to me, bro. On dogs, dog.
Man.
You're not wrong, but honestly, I think
Chad Mendes signed there.
Chad Mendes.
Chad Mendes signed to bare knuckle.
I'm so far out on Chad Mendes.
Oh yeah, I am too, but I'm just throwing that out there because he brought in a bare knuckle reference.
That's fair, but I will say I think Karolina, while she's on the 4-fight losing streak, I think she's been doing it against much tougher competition. If you ask me, against Pena's recent run of form, like Penne,
like the pasta, bro.
Sorry.
Best meme of all time. If you could name a UFC fighter with just giving up food, what would it be? And someone just tweeted out Penne. It was like Jessica Penne.
That's perfect. But anyways, this Penne is cooked. Is my point. Overdone, al dente. We're out of here. I think she's the one you got going to bare knuckle. And honestly, I'm surprised. Odds are closer than I thought. Karolina coming in at -134. Jessica Penne at +108. I thought Karolina would be a bigger favorite, to be honest. So, I mean, this fight's so bad that I don't want to say it, but I'm leaning. I almost want to say this is my lock of the night.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I know. I'm about to throw up.
I know.
I'm not touching this fight.
I know.
Ever in my life. Never. Ever. And that's no disrespect. I want to see it and watch it play out. I'm intrigued to see who gets the win and how. But to think I'm going to throw money on this fight. Are you kidding me?
Bro.
Are you kidding me, bro?
You almost have to get it going, though.
Your fucking lock? What are we doing?
This might be my lock, dude.
Oh,
I've been betting preseason soccer. I've been betting 2 a.m. fucking Olympics. I've been betting preseason football tonight. I'm betting this.
How's it worked out?
Not very well. Not very well, but that's okay. That's okay. We're betting this fight. And you know what? Give it to me. Lock of the night. Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I don't even know.
Look how y'all spelled that shit.
The V's, the W's are V's. That's just better read out. Kovalevich. It's not that bad when you put it with the V's.
No, every time I hear it,
it's how it looks. We're like Koala Kuwait.
Yeah, it doesn't even fit on the damn screen.
Oh wow, I put a random N up in there.
Love it.
But butchered the name.
I think Noah might throw up if we talk anymore about this. Next fight.
I mean, shit, you're acting like this much better. It's really not, but I still dig it. We got Ed Herman, 25th. Oh, wow. We got Ed Herman, 25-14, taking on Alonzo Menefield, 10-2 in the men's light heavyweight division.
We might see a bad knockout here. I think Menefield is going to hurt Herman bad.
I mean, Ed Herman seems like Sam Alvey's like stepbrother. He's just you can at this point when you have 14 losses, and you're just coming back every week.
I was just about to say,
fucking
Uncle
by
Dana,
some young hungry lion.
Uncle Dana, can we have Ed Hermanson? No, we have Ed Hermanson at home. Ed Hermanson at home.
It's Jack Hermanson, but
Jack Hermanson at home.
But yes, Ed Herman, Jack Hermanson. I fucked it up.
Yep. Exactly. So I'm kind of with you. I think this might just be like Ed Herman kept asking for a fight. They had to get someone for Alonzo.
Remember when Kevin Hull's opponent fainted and he was like, "Call Ed Herman, I'll take him," because his opponent got COVID.
Yeah,
and they called Ed Herman and he's like, "I'm shit faced."
Like
can't fight. Like all time response. I think he gets all time virally KO'd. Honestly. Like
Menefield by finish is -150. That's gross.
So we're not touching this fight, is what I've heard. Yeah. We're just sitting back and appreciating a great knockout if it comes, or we're just going nuts when it happens.
I'm touching it. I'm taking that.
I'm kind of with you. I think this might be where I parlay.
Just like the Greg Hardy tied to Ivasa, it was like the same type of shit. Taking it.
All right, fair enough.
I like it.
Until Ed Herman wrestle fucks him for like three rounds, and we're all just like, fuck.
Well, there's no way.
Next fight,
we got Draco Rodriguez, 7-2 out of the USA in the men's 135 division, taking on Vince Morales, 9-5, also out of USA. I want to say Draco Rodriguez, man, he should be walking out to. Yeah, it is a scrap, but. He should be walking out to Draco by Future. When that beat drops in the beginning with the bells in the background, that shit would be hella fire. And he's got to be the Draco Rodriguez. That should be his nickname.
Yep, just the Draco.
The Draco Rodriguez.
I got what's his name? I got Draco
Morales?
All day. No, I got Draco all day.
Why?
I think something. Who's Draco's last fight? I just remember him. It impressed me. He lost though, right? No, not that.
Yeah, he lost to Alaman Zahabi.
Oh my god, I forgot. He's the great Dracolini. What an awful
nickname. I forgot. I actually hate this guy. Thanks for pulling up Tapology. I remember. I
hate this guy.
Yeah, I now remember because now I'm looking up that last fight. I bet on Zahabi because we were talking about like me and No. I think Nelly even said it during the last pod, like he should come out to Draco Future, and we're like, oh, dude, this guy can have fire nicknames. And then he's like, he's the great Dracolini, and you're just like, what in the fuck?
That sounds like some shit out of Drake and Josh, bro.
Yeah,
bro. Like, so there's a
the great Houdini
going on. So the Zahibi dude has fought Morales as well and lost to Morales in a decision. So I think this is the weird MMA math triangle thing. And Draco's gonna win for some random bullshit reason.
MMA math never works except for when there's like mad people involved and everyone's beat everyone.
But
that's the only time it works. And if that's what you're saying,
why
I'm in on this.
I think that's what he's saying is that the normal MMA math would say he lost to Morales, so he's gonna win. You know.
So I don't even know. Who does that mean we're taking? I'm backing him 100%. But who am I backing? We're back in the Draco. All right, I like that.
Yeah, because Draco lost to Zahabi. Zahabi lost to Morales. So Morales is going to lose.
But I think this could be exciting as shit.
I think this could
sneakily
be like fight of the night, like where I think
it won't. It won't be. We got to come up with a term for that because there's always the fight of the night, which goes to the best fight of the highest status or the highest like award.
Yo, what about?
But then there's the fight of the night for everyone else that usually delivers that doesn't get it. We got to come up with a term for that.
What about the banger?
Is exactly this fight. The banger of the night?
Because that's what I always
scrap of the night. This is the scrap of the night for sure.
Yeah.
The scrap, the banger. Yeah, this is like the fucking fight of the night B. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's basically the fight that's on the prelims that no one really knows about.
Scrap of the night.
But then everyone starts tweeting about it. And everyone immediately like the views.
Actually, we gotta take that back. Because the next fight may be that as well.
That's true, but like people, I mean, maybe, but people might know this fight. But let's hop into it now. We're more excited about that shit. Let's not front.
Go.
We got Rafael Fiziev, 9-1 out of Kyrgyzstan. Our dog out of Tiger Muay Thai taking on Bobby Green, 27-11 in the men's lightweight division. This is a great fight in terms of career trajectory and where. Like how it projects both guys. Bobby Green was first team all COVID by a landslide, had a great run during the COVID year, came back strong, and we've seen Fiziev on a real rise here and could be a legit contender, especially if he dusts away Bobby Green. So it's a great spot for both of them to meet up and see who takes the reins. Is Fiziev a legit contender, or is Bobby Green kind of these like, hey, I dust these young cats and I'm still here, but I might not get a title shot, but I'm still here.
Right.
Is it which one we going with?
Exactly. And Fiziev is Fiziev is one of the most vicious strikers, like not in the kind of Sean O'Malley type where we're talking about where it's just like crazy speed and precision, which he does have that speed, but it feels like everything he hits with is just like hitting you with a baseball bat. Which whose Instagram was it on? Was it on Young's or?
That sparring session of Petr Yan and Fiziev.
That was so nasty.
Yo, in the middle of the pandemic, bro, they just put mats down. It was those two and Frankie, bro, just chilling.
Whose Instagram was that on?
It was a random account.
Random account.
Yeah, it was like MMA gone bad or something like.
We'll try to put it out on our No Judges Necessary Instagram.
We gotta find a clip of that.
It is. I've never seen in a sparring session just flat, and I was just like,
I'm pretty sure it was Frankie and the Irish dude who was there.
Yeah,
and it was the two of them and just mats in a fucking car park in the fucking driveway, dude.
Crazy, but anyways, I mean,
so what does this say about this fight? Just because Fiziev trained with Yan, y'all rocking Fiziev? Like, is that the movement here?
Pretty much, but it's going to be interesting.
I think he's going to wear out Bobby Green and TKO him in the second round. I think the first round is going to be horrible.
Right. But
Green's going to try to come forward and apply pressure and try to shoot for takedowns. And Fiziev is going to tear his legs apart with fucking leg kicks. Yeah. And it's going to be brutal. And by the second round, he's going to clip him with the 2-3 combo, sort of similar like he did to Moicano, and put him out. Yeah. That's what I predict. But I could be horribly wrong.
I think the only thing about it, I do think that Bobby Green could definitely get... That's kind of my thing is what I want to see, and that's why I love this. I actually love this match.
Not early. It's a cumulative damage. I don't think Green can withstand the 3 rounds. That's what I think. It's going to be like a Chris Moutinho O'Malley in the differential. Maybe not as extreme, but I don't think it'll be as extreme.
But that's kind of what I want to see out of this fight, though, is because I don't think Bobby Green's just going to wilt like some of these guys that have fought Fiziev. Like, he's going to still, even if he's down on the scorecard.
He's not wilting you out when you put him out, though.
You got to finish it. I mean, has Bobby Green been finished?
I mean, he's got 11 losses. I would hope somebody's
finished. I mean, recently?
Dustin Poirier finished him, I think.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
But that's the thing. He's been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 straight decisions since that Dustin Poirier knockout, who's now in line for a title shot. So Bobby Green's not someone you just come in and, throw a few leg kicks and then in the second round knock him out. That ain't fucking Bobby Green shit.
It's not going to be a few leg kicks, fam. It's going to be an onslaught. He's not going to be able to move by the end of the first round, dog.
But that's kind of my point is I'm still probably picking Fiziev, but I think it's a good opportunity where you still have to fucking prove yourself against Bobby Green. Nothing is for free against this cat.
No, you're right.
But let's check some quick odds before we head out here. Minus 315 on Fiziev. I mean,
I really don't like that.
Yeah.
To be real.
It's a big line, and like the problem is because
Fiziev been down at Sanford MMA training with Troy and them, so he came out here. So I mean, shit. It makes me feel good if he's gonna face a guy who's probably gonna want to bring it to the ground if he's been sparring with Troy. So
that's what I'm saying. They've really got a good wrestling program down there, which makes me because if he was just going to get in a straight war, I think he'd give opportunities for Bobby Green to take him down. But if he's more selective with his shots and then, like you said, pick your leg kicks and then later bring the combos, I do. The problem with it, I don't see a lot.
It's not going to be 2 leg kicks, set it up, right hand. No. It's going to be endless. Finish your combinations with the leg kick. Start with the leg kick. Start coming upstairs. Then he's going to keep him guessing. Plus, Fiziev with the lean back matrix move. We know he can do that. I think it's going to be a murdering.
Yeah, I do think Fiziev is going to win because I can't really see a lot of ways that Bobby Green finishes or wins this fight unless he can just find a way to wrestle fuck him. Or
if he can't get it to the ground, how's Bobby Green going to impose his will in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, if he can keep him on the cage maybe for a bit, and just try to tire him out. I mean, I don't know. And that's where I still think I have to pick Fiziev, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as some of the performances we've seen out of him.
Fair. I mean, it is a big step up, for sure.
Talking about some big step ups.
I think Fiziev by decision is the move. What are the odds on that? Let me see.
You think by unanimous, just out of curiosity? I know you can't bet that, but.
Plus 125 on the decision on the Barstool Sportsbook.
I like that.
I don't hate it. I'm also sort of a biased fan, so I'm kind of rooting for the finish. But I also think it's a big possibility. Big possibility of me not liking the fight. Probably the next fight.
Really?
Dong Song, 16-5-1 out of China, taking on Casey Kenny, 16-3-1 out of the USA in the men's 135 division. For some reason, this fight couldn't care.
That's hilarious. For some reason, I love this fight.
I love it. I don't
know what.
I think Song should be a huge favorite, but I don't think he is.
Song Yadong's plus 100. Casey Kenny is minus 125.
There's just something about crackhead Casey Kenny that I just can't get behind.
There's something about crackhead Casey Kenny that I fucking love. I truly do.
I don't know. There's comments about Megan Anderson and all that shit.
Yeah.
I
want to see him get his ass
way. His face, just the way he just looks like a wormy sleazeball.
See,
this I'm just mad about it.
Yeah, and I don't want to say I love Casey Kenny because I'm not really a fan of his, but his fights are usually weird and entertaining. So I'm hoping Song Yadong absolutely beats the shit out of this guy.
Does he have a nickname?
But I think this is going to be weird and entertaining. That's honestly my review.
He should 100% be crazy Casey Kenny.
Yeah, you definitely got that.
He is crazy.
But yeah, give me even money on Song Yadong all day.
Doesn't
he train with Uriah Faber?
Say it because I already gave mine away. Say it, Matt. You want to say it.
Say what?
You know that's your lock.
Oh. I think yeah. I think
you still got something in the tank. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Song Yadong.
I thought you were going to try to make me. I thought you were trying to make me say a dong joke.
No. This is a kids podcast. This is for the kids.
I was
the Kung Fu Monkey, Song Yadong.
Kung Fu Monkey? That's fire. When your name's already fire.
Yeah, Team Alpha Male. I thought he was training with Faber.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
he's got this sick right hand where he bam, and it comes right back. It's like a pullback. It's so weird.
Almost like a jab from the back. Because how you can kind of just snap your jab out there, he does that with his straight. It's so weird, dude. Right. And I think,
but it's effective.
I think Casey Kenny's going to give him opportunities to throw the combos and stuff, and I don't think Casey Kenny has the power to really finish him.
No, but if Casey Kenny gets confidence, though, he is a completely different fighter.
This is true.
It's like you throw him a couple fastballs, bro, and he just start hitting, and you can't stop him.
You throw him a couple Mountain Dews, he's gonna start getting after you, man. Watch the fuck out.
No, I agree, but that's where I think it's honestly a terrible spot for him because you can't ever get comfortable with Song Yadong. Like,
is it the first fight on the pay-per-view?
Like,
I don't trust Casey Kenny first fight of a pay-per-view.
No, not at all.
Not at this stage of his career. Maybe later I will, but he seems too chaotic for me to trust him at this spot on the card.
That's fair. So we're all on Song?
I'm not touching this fight.
Okay.
I'm not.
You could have said we're all on Yadong, and that would have been a funny one.
God damn it! It was right there.
So we're all on Yadong.
Sure.
Good joke, Matty P.
All right, I'm gonna let you guys pick the next fight. Vicente Luque, 20-7 out of Brazil, taking on Mike Chiesa, 17-4 in the welterweight division.
Yes,
I did big skip a fight.
Oh yeah.
So all right, I skipped a fight. Fuck me. All right. Tisha Torres, 12-5 out of the USA, taking on Angela Hill, 13-9, also out of the USA in the female 115 division. What are your thoughts?
Decision City.
Who's winning?
I like Tisha.
I can see Tisha just like wrestling, ragdolling up against the cage, but then I can also see Hill just like jabbing the shit out of her the whole time. I don't know. I really don't. I'm leaning Torres. I lean Torres if I had to.
Yeah, this terrifies me because I like Tisha Torres. I think she's a pretty good prospect. I think some of her losses were just like inexperienced, and I think she's going to grow into this division. You know what I mean? I think she's going to be someone who's going to be here for a while, and the best is yet to come. But the thing that absolutely terrifies me about this is I feel like every Angela Hill fight, when I like a new up-and-comer against Angela Hill, she kills him. And then
Tisha Torres is not a new up-and-comer.
Well, not a new up-and-comer, but when anyone.
Come on.
Okay, sorry. But anyone that they're usually prospects at Angela Hill's, but she's getting a little more respect in this, obviously. But basically, any fighter that I like that's fighting Angela Hill, she usually ends up scrapping them. And then when I actually am like, you know what? This is the one. This is the one I'm going to bet on Angela Hill. I like Angela Hill. Because I still do like her as a fighter. Then she fucking takes an L every time. So I can't win on
beef
Angela
at the
Hill.
presser.
So I shouldn't say no, I missed that.
Oh, there was big beef. Angela Hill was like, I'm going to slap you. Like, look at your record pre-USADA and post-USADA. And Tisha Torres was like, yeah, well, look at my physique the whole time. It stayed the same. I've been tested more than any other athlete, and I've stayed clean. Y'all bitches is just jealous of my physique. Like, it is what it be. Like, and they were like kind of going at it. And I was like, oh, shit. Like,
damn.
I kind of like this fight now.
I
have no idea. What? No, I agree with that. Still a decision. That's more than fair. I don't know who's going to win this fight. I don't know who's going to win this fight. I think it's a coin flip. I think it's an ask your dog kind of fight. Like bark once for Torres, bark twice for Hill. But I'm very intrigued on watching it. I mean,
I think it would basically be a dead
fight.
pick'em, but because Angela has more losses, it's minus 137 on Tisha. Angela's coming in at plus 110.
Those are great odds. I thought it would be
to go the distance, minus 335.
It's going to be a 15-minute kickboxing matchup, and it's going to be awesome.
Right.
15 minutes of two chicks coming at it, fast speed.
No, I like this.
Nonstop, all action.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I'm not bitching. I think it'll be a great fight.
Yeah, I think it's a good fight. I have no idea who wins. It just all comes down to the actual day.
I think it's going to literally be it's going to be volume and precision because they're going to both be throwing from that kickboxing range and just who can just land those.
It's going to be a Muay Thai kickboxing fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's going to be great.
And especially, I love it that you said they had the beef at the presser because the only thing I was thinking about that could kill this fight is if Tisha feels Angela's power and then wants to make it a wrestling match. That could kind of bring down some of the energy.
All right, we're taking Angela Hill off the bark noises right there.
Bark twice for Angela Hill?
Yeah, just
Uh-oh.
We're taking Angela Hill off that.
Uh-oh. This might actually be I might not touch this one. But
yeah, I mean, I probably won't touch it, but now I'm kind of leaning Angela Hill after I heard that.
That's fair. The Barks can change things.
Yeah, I mean, when it's this razor thin. All right, but let's get into the fight that I was jumping ahead on and talking about. Vicente Luque, 20-7 out of Brazil, taking on Mike Chiesa, 17-4 out of the USA in the welterweight division. Fellas, talk to me. What are we thinking?
I've completely flipped. I was like, Chiesa's going to ragdoll him for 15 minutes. And now I'm like, I think Luque's going to finish him. I don't know.
Oh, my days.
I'm scared because I think in my brain I'm way too far out on Luque. I'm so far out on Luque. I am beyond gone on him.
And he just throws banger fights after he knocks people the fuck
No,
out.
no, and I'm not even saying that like I don't want to. It's not in the way of like I don't want to watch him.
He's the Gaethje of that division.
I know, and he's on a 3-fight winning streak. For some reason in my brain, I just don't like him, and I don't know.
I hate you guys on this pod. You guys are fucking picking all the people that I thought you would never take. I thought there'd be a 0% chance you'd pick Mike Chiesa.
Got to keep you on your toes now.
Yeah,
we're not fucking ESPN. I'm not just gonna give out fucking blank takes.
That's fair. I'm not asking you to be ESPN, but your takes still suck.
That's fine. But they're my takes. I'll go with them.
I kind of want to stay away from this fight, but I also want to bet on it, so I'm super invested. Like,
yeah, you want to be juiced for this. It's gonna be a good one.
My first reaction did say Chiesa's gonna win by a decision, though. But as I keep looking at it,
that's what you gotta go with. But that's because you start seeing physique now. You're starting to see.
No, I haven't seen shit.
Chiesa cut his hair. You're starting to see fucking interviews and thinking, oh, Chiesa looks out of it, and oh, Luque looking nice. Always go with your gut decision on a fight. When it's fucking
you just want
first thing. No, I don't. I want you to pick your gut decision. That's what I started doing in 2021, and my odds of picking fights have gone up astronomically. I started picking with my head and who I was a fan of and who looked good on pre-fight, on fight week, and who had a nice weight cut and all this shit, and it doesn't fucking matter. Pick the guy you thought was going to win when you heard it in the first 10 seconds of the fight. That's who's usually going to win.
Let's go,
If you can stick with that,
let's go.
You're going to fucking win a good amount of fights. Don't second guess yourself.
Away. I think I want Luque to win.
Oh my god! All right, well that's fair.
You're a closet Luque fan. I know it.
You wish you were Vicente Luque.
I'm definitely a Luque fan.
If he wins this fight, you got to get a Luque tattoo.
My first tattoo is not going to be Luque. I'm sorry.
We still need your Sam Alley.
We're working on it.
Uriah Hall had his chance. He could have maybe last weekend.
Drunk in Vegas, you had a big 200.
He would have won something. I forgot what it was.
I think on the feet, Luque is going to have an advantage. The question that lies in this fight is once it hits the floor, is the wrestling of Chiesa too much for the jiu-jitsu of Luque? Right. That's the ultimate question.
And I feel like,
because he's probably going to hit the floor.
Maybe I'm wrong on this, but hasn't it seemed lately that wrestling has just been dominating jiu-jitsu? Like every time I feel like we talk about it on the pod, where we're like, well, you know, they'll probably take it to the ground, and then like, oh, but watch out, he's got a good submission game. He's active from the bottom.
What's our favorite line from DC? Position over submission, bro.
It's true.
It's so true.
And these dudes just get dominated and ragdolled, and they try to get some little shit, and it's like, oh, that's in, it's in. Oh, he snaps out because everyone has a base level of jiu-jitsu defense, even if you're not a black belt. Like,
but Chiesa has been tapped before.
Yes.
So
by Masvidal,
by Anthony Pettis, by Kevin. I was just gonna say that. Yo, that was a great lead up to that fight when he was like, "Yo, mama, go buy this fight," and then they squared off, and they was just like throwing fucking paws at the presser. That was a good era. That was a great era. I'm just like,
I
you got
think
30.
that was the same time McGregor hit the who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah,
it was
no,
2017.
same era. You're so right. That's when they had like 35 dudes on stage for the fucking presser. Now it's like 4, and it is what it is. But
yeah, I mean, I get it with COVID and stuff, but those things were great because, especially the best part of those 47 people pressers is the guy who was the 16th guy in the back row. A year and a half later is the guy in the front row fucking talking shit to the guy that's sitting 16th in the back. You know what I mean? Like,
that was just a great
that's what
era.
I miss. But, I mean, Chiesa's on a 4-fight win streak against some pretty good names.
I'm rocking Chiesa. I think he's found himself. I think he was a wrestler who came in. I think he's a wrestler who came in and tried to get like too flashy and too brash and like get away from what he is. He's going to ragdoll you to the mat and get it in his world and let it go from there. And that's, I think, his best path to victory against almost anyone. It doesn't really matter who his opponent is. I think his best path is get him to the ground and let's start working, Mike. Like, and if you don't do that, he's probably going to lose. But if he sticks to that, I think he's going to beat Vicente Luque. I don't think that's crazy of a take.
I think if I'm just predicting it right now, I'm thinking first round, all Chiesa. Second round, they come out squared up a little bit. If Luque throws and
I could see that
in the way.
I could see a 1-1 going into the third. But even then, I don't see Luque winning the third. I see a big third round out of Chiesa. 1-1 going into the third. Pick your poison. Maybe Luque comes out hot, striking, throws a couple head kicks, maybe wobbles him. Oh shit, round 1 to fucking thing. I just don't see Luque winning the third round when it matters, especially against a style.
I think he's got to clip him in the first round.
Let me hear it. I could see him. Yeah, I could see a Luque 45-second knockout
in the middle of the run, in the middle of the shit with all the welterweights. Because whoever wins this fight, they're going to be in the middle of all the shit. I think Luque's going to be in there, and it's going to make it weird because Gilbert and him are buddies.
Nah, I don't see that.
It's Chiesa. Chiesa only has 4 losses. We always think about that little, slip up in 2017.
Yeah, we want Chiesa just like we wanted Wonder Boy, because they'd be like, oh, if Wonder Boy could fight him, then that'd be a good opportunity. That's what we want with Chiesa. That's what's happening.
I think Chiesa's going to slip up into that top bit, get slept by the top 5, and then settle right into it.
I mean, it's got to be done early.
9 times during this fight.
Yeah, what are you doing, bro? You're the worst on this fight, fam. I don't even want to talk to you no more, dog.
You're like, I feel you. He is going to ragdoll him, but Luque's knocking him out. I love it.
He's going to knock him out from bottom after getting 10-8'd in a fucking round.
Oh, man.
He trains with Burns all day? Come on.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I couldn't give
Gilbert Burns getting ragdolled, too.
I couldn't give 8 shits about that. All right, but he trains with Troy Wood, and I care about that.
That's fair. Yeah, he has been getting his wrestling up with Troy.
All right, fair. Good point.
Co-main time?
Yeah, co-main time. We got Jose Aldo, 29-7 out of Brazil, taking on a fellow Brazilian, Pedro Munoz, 19-5 in the bantamweight division. This is a banger.
I don't know. I have no clue. I think it's fight of the night. I think it goes decision. I think both of them aren't.
I just said this is a banger, and he goes, I don't know. I think this is fight of the night.
Oh, no. I was like, I don't know about this fight. Like, I don't know who wins.
I got you. Just the way it came across.
I have no clue.
It's tough because part of me wants to say that Aldo's all done, but it feels like every time Pedro Munoz steps up to that big stage, like he always has a good regular season. He always has a good regular season. Then he gets in the playoff.
Yeah.
It's not his first playoff game.
No,
he lost the playoff game to Aljo.
I'm sorry. I take that back. It is not his first playoff.
He had his first playoff win was against Cody. You're right. And that was huge. Yeah. But since then,
we got to start bringing that back because that's such a great analogy.
Frankie Alger.
Playoff wins.
And it's
how many playoff wins you got?
I don't know. Because he did start Cody, but that was a weird He just caught him at the end of the first round. Like, I mean, I'm not taking that away. He's still.
But is this still a playoff win?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Definitely.
All right. So he probably loses his fight. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, former champ is almost guaranteed. I don't really care where they're at in their career. That's sort of a playoff fight.
Right. Drew Brees was still decent last year. Like,
yeah.
I like this
decision,
or I like this being the one that has the crazy injury. One of those two.
I could see that, but I could also
very much.
I kind of see a world where Jose Aldo is just like there, but he's not doing anything. Like just one of these like.
I kind of think
and he's just not doing anything.
Jose Aldo's gonna get hurt. That's what it is. It's Jose
Aldo just like not throwing, and he just like fainting and
you know what?
Fuck nothing.
It's been boiling in me. I'm going with my hot take. Jose Aldo will retire after this fight. Against the Brazilian, he's going to get finished. He's going to hug the Brazilian, put the gloves on the mat. Thank you. I'm out.
That's a spicy
Jose Aldo will retire on this fight.
Woo!
Spicy take.
He said he's
on
retired.
a pay-per-view.
That in retirement. That's a whole different world.
I don't know, and it's Jose. He loves the fight game. He could always stay in. You know, I'm not saying like get
that to happen though.
Yeah,
if he wins, he's not.
No, of course, and like he's such a competitor. I've got a weird feeling about this. Like, it's set up right.
I'm kind of with Brick because I think a lot of things just happen after the fight. If you plan that you're going to retire for this fight, I feel like it never goes well. It's like, well, I lost. I got to get it back and go out on a win. Oh, well, I won, so I'm in the mix.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think I kind of agree with Brick that this is going to be, I feel like it's going to be a spur of the moment retire. Not like.
Yeah, and I'm not even,
but you know
weirdly,
what I'm trying to say?
He could fight again. Like, I'm not even saying that it would be like, I could see one of those just like, hey, you know what? And like, I don't know.
He's probably 40, 60 on retirement, and then this fight's going to happen, and he's going to be like, I'm in on retirement.
A younger Brazilian just like, hey, you know what? I just don't got it in this
But I feel
game.
like that only happens if Pedro Munoz KOs him.
Yeah. Or just an absolute... If it's just if he gets injured or it's a 30-27 just like dogging, you know, and he's just like, because I don't see, part of it's also, I don't see Jose Aldo if he loses going and fighting like the number 10, number 12 guy. Like that is Jose Aldo.
Maybe a Dom Cruz fight or something, you know, like.
Yeah, unless he wants to
go really see. Do y'all really see Pedro Munoz dogging Jose Aldo?
I can see him knocking him out. Dogging him, probably not. Like,
no,
not
that's why
just
I said the injury.
Yeah. A leg kick or something.
The fucking injury takes them. You say this every episode, Blood.
He's been like 50% at this point. Like,
he's been awful. He says it every fight, and it's never happened. This is the one.
You opened the podcast being like, "Oh, fans are back. Everyone's hurt." Like, so
true.
So maybe he's on to something.
Okay, I gotta listen to my own takes. Fair point.
I don't listen to my own takes.
Fair play.
So I don't blame you.
Well, hey, regardless, he's okay.
He's okay.
Oh my God, he said he's okay.
Last thing, Jose Aldo minus 118, Pedro Munoz minus 109. Surprising to give a little bit of favor to Aldo, but
bro, I gave you guys the most beautiful alley-oop transition, and you just spit on it, threw it away.
He's okay. Let's talk about a fight that's really okay, but kind of fucking great. We got Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, the dude out of Houston, 25-7 out of the USA. Taking on the French dude, Bonjaman, Cyril Gane. We don't give a fuck. 9-0. What are we talking? What are we doing? Who are we picking?
Let's hear it. Is exciting.
Who?
Black Beast all day.
Nah, fam.
I've already let it be known. I just don't like Gane, and I don't have a reason. He seems like an awesome, nice guy.
Yeah.
I just picked a guy, and I just don't like him. I have to pick
somebody. That's fair.
I need
someone. You know I respect that.
I need someone in each division, and he is the heavyweight guy. And I'm not just going to pick a scrub who loses. I want to pick a good contender. So
yeah, someone in the mix. And I will say it's kind of weird because, like, I feel like old school heavyweights, there was a lot more, like, you're a fan of one guy and, like, everyone else hate, you know. there was a lot of like sort of hateable guys, you know, like you either loved or hated them. There's a lot of like just like a lot of people like the Black Beast, a lot of people like Ngannou, a lot of people like Cyril Gane, except for Matty P, and apparently Derek Lewis, because excuse my French, but fuck him and fuck the French.
Did he say fuck the French or fuck you?
No, so someone asked him, like, what's going to happen if this Frenchman beats you?
Yeah, and no, it was a French guy asking him.
Yeah, and he goes, excuse my French, but fuck you and fuck him.
Oh, that's what it was.
And then the guy was like, so are we going to record that, write that down for, like, Saturday night? He goes, write it down, put it in a photo. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it sucks because I do like Cyril Gane. I think he's a good prospect. But I think he's going to look very good in this fight, and then I think he's going to get absolutely starched at an unbelievable moment in Derek Lewis fashion. And
I could see that.
I don't know if I'm partially rooting for that because I want a Derek Lewis post-fight interview. Like that's half the reason I root for him. Is I just
I've had a take that Derek Lewis will not be a champion, and I don't think he will. I think Cyril Gane will win this fight kind of easily.
Yeah,
I think you're right because
his footwork and his speed is second to none in the heavyweight division, and I think he's going to dance around Derek Lewis. Now, there's 35 to 40% of me that thinks Derek Lewis is going to catch him with the right, and I'm going to be sitting there the whole time with like tensed up, like, come on, Cyril, come on. But I just watched Cyril rise from like 1-0, 2-0 when he was fighting an Aries promotion, which is where I get a lot of my daily newcomers from. So I kind of have a soft spot for Cyril, just like watching him rise and like the fact that he's actually good.
I got a hot take. I think because everyone says it's either Lewis is going to finish him or Gane's going to win by decision. I hate that I'm even saying this, and I'm not going to bet on it because I'm big Derek Lewis style, but if I could see Gane winning inside the distance.
Yep.
Your dogs agree.
Yo, honestly, I was going to say.
Think about this too.
What are the odds of Cyril Gane by submission? That was going to be my take.
Wait. But also, remember how Masvidal had that fight in his hometown and got absolutely like knocked out in front of everybody, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like
and he's the stand-up guy who doesn't get knocked out.
And that's what scares me. Is probably just because that recently happened, and I'm thinking, oh shit, Derek Lewis fighting his hometown. That's never good. He said he's feeling way more pressure than he's ever felt and all this shit. And I'm just like, but maybe he'll just come out there swinging. But
honestly,
guess the odds on this. I want you all to guess the odds. I don't know if you've looked it up, but
Cyril Gane minus.
Well, I already know. Derek Lewis.
I haven't looked it up.
Underdog.
Yeah, I was shocked by that. Cyril Gane's a minus 375 favorite. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. And I like Cyril Gane. I think he's a good fighter, but
it's not that crazy to me. He barely got touched by Tanner Boser, JDS, and and Alexander Volkov.
Yeah, but he only needed pushed once by Derek Lewis.
That's the difference.
That's more than fair, and that's what scares the fuck out of me in this fight. But I think Derek Lewis is going to try to stand up in a transition game when they're on the ground and get caught in something. Subbed.
Part of me thinks Derek's the type to not lose in front of people that he doesn't want to lose in front of. Like, if you put his family or someone in front of him, and part of me thinks the home crowd is going to make him, like, a different level beast. Like, but then part of me thinks that's the fairy tale story that always gets fucking crushed. Like,
yeah. Yo, I was there live in London when Darren Till walked out and got horribly KO'd by Masvidal. So I know what it's like. And I was all Darren Till at the time. He was like top 3 favorite fighters of mine. And the chick I was with was like, yo, I got Masvidal tonight. And I was like, no. Like, I was pissed. And it happened.
Yeah,
and that's kind of why I have Cyril Gane.
We were there on the flip side in Florida when the whole crowd wanted Masvidal. And I was on Usman.
Yeah.
And that was one of the greatest.
I was with the crowd. It's kind of that thing that like I was very neutral in that fight.
Oh,
and then
I
when
will
you get
say,
in the environment, you have to rock with the crowd.
I wasn't very vocally for Usman because I was scared to be in that crowd, but I was very pumped when it happened, to be real. But
I almost want to bet Gane inside the distance just
so if
it happens, I won't be as sad.
yeah. But then Cyril Gane gets the decision, and then you're double fucked.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm never betting on Cyril Gane. You got me fucked up. I don't like him. Why'd I do this?
Yeah. Stick to your plan.
The one thing that's making me feel ultra confident is that he used to train with Ngannou. And so if he can take a shot from Ngannou, I hope he can take a shot from Lewis. So that gives
can he? Just because you've trained with him, does that mean you can take a shot from Ngannou?
Right. No, that's the ultimate question. Like, did he take those shots or did he not?
And Lewis, the thing is that's scary about Derek Lewis's punches is that like it's not everyone is like that, but when he throws that one, it seems like it's stronger than Ngannou's. Ngannou's just looks like he can just touch you though, and you go out. But when Derek throws that one, that you see like whop, like
he got that like Street Fighter like power up type shit. Like he'll just kind of touch you once in a while.
Honestly, I
didn't know he had that
for a long time, and I'm keeping it rolling.
If you had a contest on which fighters could knock out like the biggest animals, I would pick Lewis over Ngannou.
Is Derek Lewis the nastiest knockout artist we've ever seen?
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Chuck Liddell comes to mind.
He's got the most, and he's vicious.
Yeah.
And he's a heavyweight.
Chuck Liddell was the first one that came to mind, but that honestly could have just been
7
because,
losses.
like,
let me look into his losses.
I was like 12 and just like, what in the fuck is this? And he was just murdering people.
And he looked like a murderer at the same time, so it was even crazier.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just pure knockout artist, like, because especially like he is a pure knockout, like that's what he does. Like, he doesn't want a whole. No, that ain't what he's about. But
he's knocked out a lot of scrubs though, and when he's fought the elite, it hasn't really.
He's knocked out. He's got 8 UFC knockouts, which is like wild.
In the heavyweight division, like
I thought it was 12.
Oh, maybe it is.
But I could be wrong. But I'm taking Cyril Gane. I like this prospect a lot. I think the footwork and the speed is going to be the difference. And yes, he could obviously get clipped. It's a fight. Anything could happen. But
I'm gonna be real. I was kind
first
of like,
fight when the fight first came out. I was like Cyril Gane instantly. This mix of heavyweight. I think Cyril Gane's better.
When I first heard the fight, I thought Derek Lewis, so that's why I'm leaning that way. And then when I saw the odds, I'm like, I have to. Like, I don't think I'm going to hammer this. I mean, it depends on how the rest of the card goes and how the account's looking, but I have to. When I see the
Cyril Gane Jairzinho Rosenstrike fight, this gives me hope.
Yeah, but it's a different animal.
I know it is. But
that's like being like he beat a chimpanzee, but now he got to fight a silverback. It's like those are two different. They're in the same kind of class, but
that's the equivalence. All right, fair.
Yeah,
fair.
I mean, a chimpanzee could fuck you up.
Cyril Gane.
Lewis right now.
Who would I rather see fighting Gane?
Cyril Gane later.
Was that the question?
Yes. Who would you rather?
I would probably agree with that.
Lewis now, Gane later. That's what I want. I think this is where...
When you put it like that, that makes this fight different in a sense.
Yeah. I think
now you're leaning Lewis.
It's not as
happening. What can you see happening? Like for the future, forget the fights and ins and outs. Who do you see fighting Francis next?
Cyril Gane.
Lewis.
And it being a big fight of the two guys who trained together, who grew up together and pioneered France MMA,
not
fighting each other.
Yep.
That's fair.
Not yet. Because this is where everyone learns who Cyril Gane. This, honestly, if you want to asked me how I could like look at my crystal ball, how I see the future. Cyril Gane's gonna look great for a round and a half, 2, maybe even get into third, and then he's gonna get clipped. And this is where all the fans are gonna be like, "Holy shit, this guy Cyril Gane's legit." But like, okay, Derek Lewis is getting his title fight. Then Cyril Gane's gonna go back down into the top 5, wash these dudes, and then in like 2 to 3 fights or so, he'll get his mega fight back when fans are like 2022, late 2022, 2023, that mega fight. Maybe that's even the UFC Africa they've been looking for. Maybe we get back in Europe possibly for that, and it's going to be a fucking mega fight, like 12-1 Cyril Gane. Like his only loss was a weird knockout out of nowhere where he looked good against Derek Lewis. That's my prediction for the future.
They also just told Derek Lewis that he makes way more money if he's champion. So now he actually wants to be champion, if you didn't hear that.
Since you mentioned that, I was going to start it off with this, but we got right into it. Can I give up my discrepancies before we get out? I'm pissed about this interim belt. I know why. I understand it. They had to sell this fucking pay-per-view. It's a good card. We just went through it for an hour and 15 minutes. It's a good fucking card on its own. I get it why they had to sell this slot, so they put a fake fucking title. But they better watch the fuck out with this because I'm pissed because this smells like some WWE or boxing. Like, this is the international WBC, WBO title of the world, but the real champ is over there. Like, get the fuck out of here. No.
And he comes out like, from the top, like with a chair, just...
Yeah, exactly. This is the Money in the Bank fight. Like, get the fuck out of here. And
it just sells the fight with Ngannou that much more.
I get it, but like, as far as I'm concerned, and I get it because they're trying to sell it to more casuals, and we're trying to do the same thing here on this podcast, so I can't entirely hate it, but I have to be true with my feelings on it, where I would still be as excited if you just said the number 1 contender, guaranteed title shot, fucking heavyweight fight.
You know why I like
Let's go.
When's the last time we've had an interim title fight?
When it was actually deserved.
No. When's the last time it happened?
Would have been what? Poirier. Wasn't it Poirier?
I don't know the answer.
It must have been when Khabib was vacant. Or no,
maybe Izzy?
Last year, April.
Yeah,
Tony Gaethje in Jacksonville, the first fight back from the pandemic.
Right.
Is that the last interim title fight?
But that at least made sense.
So over a year ago. But I understand all that. But I'm just saying, if there's interim title fights once a year, I don't give a fuck. It adds hype to everything.
That's fine.
And everyone hates it, so part of me loves that.
Yeah, just be careful with that shit. Like, if it makes like I like
if they start happening every 3 months, I will get upset.
Yeah.
The fact that they happen once every 11 to 12 months and everyone gets mad, I love that. But if they start showing up every weekend, I'm with you. It's boxing. But I'm not quite on the level of it's boxing.
Do you
right
count
now.
them as real belts?
No, I don't. But
the thing that kills
if you win the interim like 3 times, though, that should count for something.
Tony was defending that shit.
If you win the interim 3 times, that should count for something in your legacy.
And I'm glad you actually brought that up because that's what pisses me off about this fight. Is I feel like interims before they started being a little looser with the whole interim belt.
It was like Conor was out for 2 years. We got to do
something. Exactly. Hey, someone has a massive injury. Someone's fucking boxing. There's a clear vacuum in the division, and we need to like get a champ, but we can't take away the other guy's belt. So that's an interim champ. And Ngannou's the champ. There is no questions about it. He's not injured. He couldn't fight on this date, but he is absolutely the heavyweight champion.
He told Francis, here's a date. Derek Lewis already said it. He was like, Francis wanted to go back to Africa or something.
Yeah. I'll give you the business spin zone of how it went down.
Denied the second time, and then the third fight, they didn't get an answer, so they just went with Gane.
Right.
This is how it went down in a business standpoint. They were looking at trying to book an August pay-per-view. They already had September booked away. They had Amanda Nunes, and they always loved pairing Amanda Nunes on a co-main event and selling that shit out. They wanted to have a heavyweight title fight because how the UFC pay-per-view schedule works is they go by month by weight class, and that's how they try to keep it going. So they eyed heavyweight on August. That was the goal. And the fact that Francis Ngannou wanted to go back to Africa, go back to his hometown, do some other shit, that delayed the process. So they got backed into a corner of realizing they didn't have a main event, and they wanted to keep Amanda Nunes as the co-main. Unfortunately, she got COVID, so that fell apart. But they got backed into a corner. So the next best option was to create an interim belt, which still sells heavyweight. It's still exciting. And they put the two number one contenders. That's exactly why this happened. Oh, no. I don't necessarily agree with it all. I'm just telling you from a business side of how it went out.
I think that's what also truly pisses me off a little bit is where I feel like Ngannou, I'm an Ngannou fan. I like Ngannou. And I feel like he kind of got dicked around to get the belt. You know, he had to take his licks. He had to take his fights. No one wanted to fight him. He had to wait on the Stipe Cormier shit. Million fucking reasons why he didn't get his belt. Then he finally gets his shot. Then he finally fucking wins it. You know, he beats Stipe. And I understand that, like, yeah, he wanted to take time. But Stipe took time. Cormier took time. McGregor took time. Khabib took time.
Well, I'm not knocking him for wanting time, but take your time. Dana White's not taking the belt. Take your time. You're just gonna fight whoever wins.
I can't believe we're really debating a fight between a guy that's 25-7 and a guy that's 9-0.
Hey,
an interim title fight. That's bananas.
And that's what I'm kind of saying. Where I'm like,
the guy that's 9-0 is a huge favorite.
Yeah,
massive favorite.
Massive. That's bananas. Bro.
Bananas. And that's where it kind of kills me. Where I'm like, neither one. And maybe it felt a little better with Tony and Gaethje, where I kind of felt like these dudes have been in line for a title shot, have fought in title fights. Like, they've been in the mix for that title, where I felt like, okay, you get an interim belt that feels more like a champ, because especially you didn't have an opportunity.
Stipe, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, Stipe's been bitching for a fight. Why not?
Stipe got fucked in this whole situation. So
yeah, if it wasn't Ngannou who got fucked, it was Stipe.
How you gonna tell me that Daniel Cormier gets an immediate rematch at heavyweight for a trilogy, but Stipe don't? Against the guy in Ngannou that came back and worked the way up and got a quick knockout in the second round? And you telling me that Stipe can't come back? The guy's defended the belt longer than anybody else. He can't come back for a trilogy? That's the fight to make.
And that's where I'm calling bullshit on this interim title fight, because I'm not even 100% sure that the next title fight will be with either of these two guys, because it probably should be Stipe.
Yeah, and now that Jones is out,
maybe I just look at the interim title differently than you, but I view it as just a market and a selling point.
Yeah,
that's how I view it as.
If you look at it,
you might be looking at it as like up and down rankings, who's where. Like, I think when you just don't like,
but I look at the history of the sport because everyone actually forgets. Everyone forgets how shit actually goes down, and everyone forgets how it actually goes down. But when you put one of these interim title, or you put a belt, regardless of if people think it's real or not, you put that around one of these guys, that changes history forever. That guy is now an interim champion forever. Now he's in the class with those Tonys and, these other guys who have been interim champs. And it puts you in kind of another league. And I'm not saying, I don't know if these guys deserve that or not, but it doesn't feel right in this situation. If they were just selling it as number one contender, top 5, one of the best heavyweight fights we can possibly put together, I'm all in on this fight. Like, I'm all in on that. But just putting the belt in doesn't sit right with me.
There's something about it that just gets the juices flowing. It makes me laugh that everyone's uptight over like getting more sales on a fight.
That's fair.
And I get like the whole side of what you're saying completely. I like the counter side a lot more for some reason.
And see, honestly, that's why I like where I put this rant. Like, I'm not going to be the asshole on Twitter who's going to really bang this drum or anything, but if anyone's real enough to watch this podcast an hour and a half, I want them to at least hear my take, but still buy the fight, still watch the fights. Like, this shit's going to be a bang.
Let's go. We got a banger on our hands. Cyril Gane winning this shit, fellas. We got any other takes?
No, he's not.
But
all right, that's the takes.
much love.
Stay high and stay lit. We out.
Much love. We out.